A world where 1 in every 25 people you meet secretly battles a hidden fear that can turn every social interaction into a heart-pounding challenge. Welcome to the realm of social anxiety, a silent struggle that grips countless individuals, leaving them trembling in the face of ordinary encounters. But what if I told you that the root cause of social anxiety is just another cognitive bias? A cognitive bias is a systematic error in our thinking that affects how we perceive and interpret reality. One of the most common cognitive biases that leads to social anxiety is called the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is the tendency to think that other people are paying more attention to us than they actually are. It makes us feel like we are always in the spotlight, and that every mistake or flaw we have is noticed and judged by others. But is the spotlight effect really true? Do other people really care so much about what we do or say or wear? Or are we just overestimating our own importance and visibility? To answer these questions, let's look at some experiments that have been done on this topic by psychologists. One of the most famous experiments on the spotlight effect was conducted by Thomas Gilovich and his colleagues at Cornell University in 2000. They asked college students to wear a t-shirt with a picture of Barry Manilow, a singer who was considered uncool and embarrassing by most of the students. The students had to walk into a room full of their peers. After leaving the room, the students wearing the t-shirt were asked 2 critical questions. How many of your fellow students do you think will notice your Barry Manilow t-shirt? And how many of your fellow students will remember your t-shirt tomorrow? On average, they believed that about 50% of their peers would notice the t-shirt, while the actual number was closer to 25%. Similarly, participants expected approximately 30% of their peers to remember the t-shirt the next day, but in reality, only about 10% did. This means that the students wearing the t-shirt overestimated the attention they received. In the midst of this exploration of the spotlight effect, there's another psychology experiment that sheds light on our perception and attention, conducted by psychologists Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris in 1999. This experiment takes us into the world of inattentional blindness. In the invisible gorilla experiment, participants were asked to watch a video where 2 groups of folks passed basketballs. Their task was to count the passes made by one of the teams. It seemed like a straightforward task, and the participants were diligently focused on it. In the middle of all this ball passing, a person dressed in a gorilla suit strolled right through the players and even thumped their chest. Believe it or not, about half of the participants completely missed the gorilla. Both of these experiments challenge our assumptions about how we are perceived by others and how well we perceive our surroundings. It becomes evident that most people are often preoccupied with their own concerns, worries, and thoughts. We may mistakenly believe that others are meticulously scrutinizing our every word, action, or appearance when, in reality, they're engrossed in their own worlds. The truth is that social anxiety often arises from our misinterpretation that people will harshly judge us based on our speech or appearance, while the actuality is quite different. Take a moment to reflect on your own experiences. Think back to the last party or conference you attended. Can you remember anyone you judged based on their actions or appearance? Chances are you'll find it challenging to recall any such instances. If that gathering had 25 or more people, statistically, there was at least one person grappling with social anxiety, a profound fear of judgment that can make social situations incredibly challenging. If you are one of those individuals, it's essential to understand that you can break free from the grip of social anxiety. The key is to step out, make new connections, and remember that others are often lost in their own thoughts and concerns. In reality, they are far less focused on you than you might imagine. If you have any friends struggling with social anxiety, consider sharing this perspective with them. It's a reminder that the world is often far less judgmental than our anxious minds would lead us to believe, and the path to overcoming social anxiety begins with understanding this fundamental truth. Like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.